Hey smokers, Draga1 here, and today we're going to be looking at Dawn OS. Now, before I get started, I need to make a couple updates to the update video from just about a week ago. First and foremost, the operating system I'm doing today, Dawn OS, is not actually Linux. Second of all, I did, in fact, get a notebook so I can keep track of just what the hell I'm doing in each video. And finally, and the reason for this video being somewhat delayed is because I suddenly have to move. That's right, remember I just got done talking about how much I love my neighborhood? Well, it turns out that because they're renovating almost all of the apartments in my complex, they're not allowing me to renew my lease, so I have to get out. I'm already aware that that may not actually be legal, but I'm not about to retain a lawyer just so I can pay money to fight, to stay, to pay more money. So with that out of the way, we can go ahead and get started. Now, Dawn OS has been created by someone named Gary from Hungary, and here are the specs of the equipment I'm going to be using here. Now, as you can see, live CD here, we're going to be using a flash drive. Now, as you can also see, there's no SSD or something in there. It's not really installable from what I come to understand. So we're just going to boot it off of some other NAND storage and see what happens. So let's try booting from USB. Ah, fuck's sake. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if it'll boot here. And as you can see, it's going to address 5 gigs of RAM. Go to our boot menu, and this is what we get. And it says it is loading Dawn. So, 5 minutes has gone by and got nothing. Enter doesn't do anything. Alright, and 45 minutes later, it actually booted the desktop. Lately, I think the waiting for shit for a very long time is starting to pay off. Okay, so now we got a refreshingly custom mouse cursor here. We've got a floppy disk symbol and what looks like a chip symbol. And, oh, okay. So that's Process Explorer. And, disks. I don't know what happened to disks. Now, from what I've come to understand, this operating system is designed to run on newer stuff. And it's actually supposed to run on touchscreen devices. And that probably explains the larger button sizes up here, so you can easily tap them with your finger. But as you can see, I'm having some pretty gnarly performance issues here. Yeah, I'm not touching the mouse there. And it's pooping itself. The actual UI of the OS doesn't seem like it's too difficult to run. So as you can see, we have a start menu type thing with the word Dawn there. Exit, run, help, settings, tools, and games. Now, since it seems like it's a homebrew project, kind of like Temple OS, maybe we have some like custom-made games just for this OS. Well, looks like we got a thing down here. I don't expect it to run very well, considering what's happening so far. Close, close. Oh, sweet snake. Alright, get right into the gameplay here. Yeah, it's pretty... Gotta lead your target a little bit there. It's like slow-mo. Yep, yeah, it's working up. Oh, shit. Damn it. I lose. Oh, I guess I, like, double-backed on myself, although you couldn't see it. Okay, so it seems like every window has marijuana in it. Well, it looks like every window... Whoa. Now, it looks like every window has some tools up here. We got a screwdriver, a sound. I guess you could mute a window. Oh, you can control the volume of each app from the title bar. That's definitely a welcome feature, because usually on like Windows, you got to go to the sound thing in the bottom and then do volume mixer. This would give you the option of adjusting per window, the volume right on the window itself. That's a good idea. This looks like a gradient bar. What is this? Transparency? Oh my god, it is. Oh, that's awesome! Now, I know that sort of stuff wouldn't excite people who are on Linux. It's like, oh, I just have this window system I can use, and it can control everything I want. This is no big deal. But from someone who just uses Windows primarily and the Mac platform, this is like, whoa. I mean, it's kind of clunky to have all these buttons on every single window, but hey, gives you the option. So once it stops lagging, of course. So what does the screwdriver do? Don't know what the screwdriver does. Well, it seems like it's toggled. So what is this? Turn the border off? Oh, that's full screen. Seems to be a little stretched out, but looks like full screen. Okay, so apparently escape just closes the little app out, which is fine, I guess. For some reason, the boot drive is drive letter O. Whatever. So we've got copy, we've got cut, we've got paste, we've got probably new file, new folder, delete, rename, undo, information. So we got snakes. Let's take a look at information. And it says error opening the file. Now, can we right click on anything? Now, apparently a lot of people have been sponsored by BenQ. I wonder if that will happen to me. Anyway, a closer look at the start menu here. It doesn't have any contextual arrows to break out different menus, but who wants a huge tree of context menus? The only reason that existed back in Windows 95 and beyond was because programmers of Windows got really, really good at making contextual menu items, so they just made them throw up all over your screen to show how awesome they were. You notice more recently you don't have that anymore on modern Windows. So let's take a look at tools. Alright, we got some stuff here, including piano, send and receive, RAM drive. Oh, I got plenty of RAM. Let's make a RAM drive. Okay, size. Ooh. So I got 5 gigs of RAM. Apparently this operating system only takes up 512 megs of RAM. Oh, okay. It's not drive letter O, it's drive letter 0, or drive number 0, and I can create drive 90. So let's try and make a 2 gigabyte RAM drive. Oh man, if it's that easy, that's awesome. But I don't know if it made it. Let's take a look at disks. Assuming it's not frozen. Okay, I'm hoping it's not entirely locked up right now. It appears to be locked up right now. Shit. Fuck. Well, I mean, this is not a good sign if the operating system takes 45 minutes to boot. Oh, okay. I didn't really want that right now, but okay. Wait, format will erase your files. Wait, I didn't ask for this. No, we don't want to format anything. That's bad. Okay, let's minimize this. Oh god, I inadvertently launched more pianos because I was clicking like a fucking asshole, damn it. Oh no. Okay, well I guess this is how we're gonna open everything individually, just having me clicked on everything. No more editors. Crap. Okay, I think it's settled a little bit. Now that we're in the editor, we see the cursor is the I-beam for the mouse. So so if I try to close it, don't save. Now that whole time I didn't actually have the sound plugged in, but which I probably should have. I probably made some noise. It does have some mouse over here, so I'm gonna press a note and hopefully it doesn't blow out the speaker. But I don't think it's actually gonna make any noise anyway. Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen. Whoa! It's still sustaining that note. Unless the mouse doesn't actually control it, and it's with the keyboard instead. No. So you might be thinking, man, this looks as slow as or slower than OS2 Warp on the 486. And I'd be one to agree with you, but I don't think the problem here is problematic software. I think it's hardware. Now, again, this is a very small project by one dude, So if he's only testing this with certain hardware, and if he's testing with modern hardware, obviously he's not even a React OS project. But I will give him credit though for something he built from the ground up. I feel like it's a little more functional than React OS in some ways. Just the first impression of it, I feel like it's better. I've just had so much bullshit with React OS, it's not even funny. So one of the problems is that I don't have a whole lot of modern hardware. The newest motherboard I have is actually my main computer, and that's like a 2012, 2011 era motherboard. I don't really have anything newer than that, otherwise I would be using it as my main computer. So this motherboard, which is that I'm using right now, which is probably closer to, oh, I don't know, 2009, 2010, 2011 era. And that I'm thinking that's new, you know? So compared to the other motherboards I have from the 90s. So now a wise man once said, better to remain silent and be thought of as a fool rather than speak aloud and prove it to everyone. Well, since we're way past the former, might as well indulge in the latter. Now, the technicalities behind this operating system have gone way, way, way further past my knowledge than I actually expected in any way when I started working on this. So I sort of wrote it down to break it down a little bit. Dawn OS runs on an OISC CPU to run on an x86 CPU like this one. Emulation is required, so this is actually all being emulated right now. It almost seems kind of pointless that I'm running it on bare metal right now if it's just going to be emulated anyway. I didn't know that at first. But to go forward, this is absolutely necessary because the x86 instruction set is obviously not. Oh, God damn it! Since my computer is not an OISC, a one instruction set computer, and is instead a CISC, a complex instruction set computer, I require emulation, an emulation layer here, in order for that to work. Gary developed Dawn OS using the. Do I want to try pronouncing this? Oh my god, editing in here. It's so obviously sublique. Sublique, sublique. And if it's not sublique, I don't care. It's sublique. So Gary developed Dawn OS on sublique. Yeah. This is the... Fuck. This is the multiple instructions on an x86 processor or a CISC. And this is the one. And it's this. Fuck. So from what I've really come to understand is that working with OISCs is a good way to learn about computer architecture. That's right. Since you're only dealing with one instruction, it's easier to get a grasp of computer architectures rather than having to learn the hundreds that's required right here. So I guess that makes sense. So anyway, since I don't have an OISC, and there, at this point in time, exists no machine that can run Dawn, you need to emulate it in some way. So I just so happen to be running it on a machine that is crap, and I could increase the speed of this operating system by increasing the speed of the processor. And it's this layer right here, the emulation layer, which is where all the slowness comes from. And anyone who runs this right now is going to run into slowness, so that's just the way it's going to be. If you want more information about OISCs, I would definitely say look at the Wikipedia link in the description, and you'll have your eyes glaze over multiple times when you try to read the first paragraph, because that's what happened to me. So here we can see the specs that is reported by Dawn. The build date is actually pretty recent. So as you can see, it does report that I have 2 cores. I'm only running at, well, if we're talking about European numbers, that would be 113.35 megahertz. Because if that's a comma, then there's no way it's 21,000 megahertz. So I'm going to assume that is going to be the decimal. So if I want this thing to run faster, I'll have to improve the CPU, which means new motherboard. And we have to restart it, which could take 45 minutes. I don't know exactly how long it takes, because I wasn't here when it finished booting. I also realized I've inadvertently drawn what looks like the magnet from the brave little toaster. So since it's running slow, and pretty much will run slow no matter what due to the emulation, I'll have to, we'll switch it to another motherboard and we'll see what happens. Well, let's close this and,
again. Say again. I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say one more goddamn time.
see what happens when I try to shut it down. There we go. So I'm assuming exit. We got lock, sleep, shut down, and reset. Let's go to shut down, and it shut off. It's that simple. That was like a Mac OS 9 shutdown. That was awesome. Alright, so we'll get rid of this. And get something that looks a lot less cluttered. Right here. Now this should be a, My apologies. I say, so many fucking times, and I don't even realize it. But once I get editing, I want to pick. Now this should be over 3 gigahertz, and it's a quad core. Apparently multiple cores doesn't matter so much in this situation, but speed does. So we should do a little bit better here. Shit, now I need a USB keyboard. Damn it. Now I believe this board has 8 gigabytes of RAM. I'm not entirely sure. I don't actually have means of turning it on because I don't know if I have the right header stuff. So I'll just do that until, oh god, fucking dust went everywhere. So I thought I was pretty smart, thinking, oh, I got this pretty slick motherboard, got quad core, about the same era, should just be a faster clock speed. Turns out no, although, I mean, this is what I'm dealing with right now. Has AMD Athlon 2X4620, but it's the same clock rate as the other processor, so the only difference is going to be pipeline stages. But when we're dealing with emulation like this, I don't think we're going to see that much of a difference in performance. And we know that the RAM doesn't really matter, so maybe since we're switching from Intel to AMD, it'll boot faster. We'll try that until I can find a faster processor. Or hell, maybe I'll try this on my main computer. We'll see. Let's boot it up. Oh, don't worry. It always does that. And here we are again. So, start a new list, and see how long it takes. Holy shit, it only took like 1 minute. I'm gonna reboot this. I wanna see this. Wait, it doesn't work. Fuck. I got nothing. It doesn't support USB. Fuck. Okay, so I don't know if it's crashed, so I guess I'll restart and see if I can get in the BIOS and enable legacy USB support. There doesn't appear to be a way to enable legacy USB. Yeah. Well, at least we get to see the boot time here. Alright, here we are. I don't know if there was like a boot up welcome screen because I wasn't here, but I did leave the camera recording, so you probably saw it. Oh, shit. Aha. So the numpad lets you control the mouse cursor. So the keyboard is working. Whoa, having some interesting redraw stuff going on. Whoa! Okay, let's go to the settings. Okay, and it's going a little bit faster actually. Or I'm just losing my mind, but it's doing some weird drawing stuff. So as you can see, Athlon 2 X4620 properly detected. It says 4 core, and it's given the first core a faster clock rate. Now we're at 320.02. So although it appears that the clock rate is the same as the last processor, this one has a higher number of instructions per cycle. So since this appears to be the definitive processor for running Dawn OS at the moment, since it has a fast boot time and higher instructions per cycle, we're just going to use this. And so let's get into actually poking around the operating system now that it will actually run a little bit faster. Okay, so we're going to take another look at the games. Let's see if Snake is performing any better on this. It appears to be a little bit better. You can see it's a little faster. Oh, shit. Alright, so I see a lot of glitches there. Let's take a look at Amoeba. Okay. What am I doing? Seems to be performing a little worse once the... Oh. What is this, Tic-Tac-Toe Battle Royale? What the fuck? Oh my god, it is. Okay, how about Bacterium? Well, another grid-based game. Supposed to click, or... I mean... I don't get it. Okay, so mill. Okay. Well, at least I can actually control it this time. Well, I don't know how to... What? Oh, I can move it? Oh, alright. Shit! Okay, we'll move on from that. How about this one? Oh, it's checkers. Or it's lock up the computer, the game. No, no, no. No! No. Well, I mean, you get the idea. I mean, the graphical glitches are still happening, but they seem to be contained to wherever the mouse is, so nothing major. Now, chess is something I'm pretty horrendous at. So let's take a look at that. Oh, not again. Not again. Let's just try to do something predictable. It already tells me where to go here. Alright. Alright, matches me move for move. Okay, well, it's very difficult to interact with this without the mouse. You should definitely use a PS2 keyboard if you're going to be doing this. And with a faster processor with a higher clock rate or a higher IPC. So we did all the games so far. Let's go back, I guess, to the Dawn folder itself. Unless there's nothing in there. There's nothing in there. Okay. Okay, so what about tools? Hey, we got paint. Sort of how I have to do things like this, and we're painting. This is how you do it. It pretty precisely follows a grid, as you can see, so I can draw like squares like for days. Make graph paper with this. Now there's different brush types as well. That one just seems to be thicker, I guess. That one's even more so. Fill bucket tool. And this is where it should crap itself entirely. No, not so bad. Is this the undo button? Nope. Is this the colors picker? Oh, okay. Oh, that was the undo button. Okay. Give me a little bit of this right here. Oh, Jesus. Shit. Nope, still going even though I'm moving my mouse. It's getting a little bit blue there. Okay, so we'll, no, that's, okay. It's good enough. So let's fill bucket that. Oh, okay. Not what I thought it was going to do. Okay. Apparently it hasn't redrawn the screen yet for some reason. But it seems like the calculation's already been done for the fill area, because it doesn't lag when I get to it. It could be handy to only fill in an area that you want to. Okay, so if I try to close this and I've made changes, let's see if we can actually save somewhere on the drive. What sort of options will it give us? It's giving me disks. I mean, I could save it in disks. Well, let me type. Let's save it in O or 0. Oh god, it's unsavable. Okay, so maybe we can't save it. It's definitely not letting me. Won't let me save in just disks. So saving may not be possible here. Don't save. So we've got format. We've got let's see what disk is. Oh, it's just disks. Okay. And that means we know that doesn't show anything. I can right-click on the desktop and you get these commands. Let's see if I can click on this, see what it does. Nothing. Or nothing I can see yet. So edit coder. We got something called coder. Apparently this is like a C compiler. Click on the right arrow in the upper menu to run. Well, should I click on the thing that says run or... I guess it's pointing to the right, so that's correct. Oh, it's got to compile it. Oh my god. Well, that's pretty cool. So I guess we'll wait for that. Shouldn't take too long here. All we're doing is waiting on a very simple program to compile. Hey, there we are. And that was it. There's a camera option. I suppose this is if you want to install it on your mobile device. Oh, camera device detected. Not surprised there. Maybe at some point I might try this on a touchscreen computer. I don't know how well that's going to work though. Calculator. Oh, there you go. That works. Okay, we tried RAM drive again. I don't know what send is or receive is. I guess if you want to talk to another Dawn OS file sender, send to 00. I guess if you had two Dawn machines on the same network, theoretically they'd find each other somehow. I really don't know. Well, we can try the piano on this motherboard and see if it actually will pass it through. Nothing. Let's take a look at this sound in the lower section here. It's not going to poop on me. Yep, well, volume's all the way up already. Well, I've almost exhausted all the things you can do in Dawn so far. Wooden key doesn't bring up the start menu thing. We've got settings. That's what I haven't done quite yet. Well, I've done it before. Okay, so desktop resolution. Let's take a look at desktop. Element size, icon size, shadow size, mouse size, taskbar size, virtual key size. No wallpaper is a checkbox that's on. Oh, I see. So generated background. Assuming that'll be like a randomly generated image or something. Procedural background. That's clever. See what that looks like. Okay, I guess it generated black. Wait, is it black? Whoa. Okay, yeah, that's definitely something. It took a little bit to kick in. I guess I needed to generate it first. Seems to be some color gradients. So we can select background image here. And it's going to bring up a file selection dialog, and we could use that image that we made before, but it didn't give me an option to actually save it. I couldn't do it, so I can't really use the image I made as the background, which is kind of sad. Oh well, probably fucked it up. Don't know how to do it. Okay, we got resolution up here. Actually, I don't want to mess with the resolution until the end because that's probably going to make the whole thing unusable. So let's take another look at process to see what kind of processes that are currently running. Now, I think the X and the skull and crossbones is how you kill processes. The skull and crossbones, I'm assuming, is the force quit, and the X is just the regular quit. No write, no send. Doesn't appear to be doing anything, and everything's unknown. Settings. Oh, settings, process explorer. These are just the windows I have open. Okay, so, how about extensions? Oh, it generated another whoa! Okay. No extensions. Not a big surprise. I don't know what I would do with an extension. Or what it would do. Oh my god, it is actually surprisingly uncomfortable to just use the numpad for moving this around. Let's take a look at network, even though we're not connected to a network. Huh? This is not what a network... What? Wait a minute. What? So the way you connect to somebody else is if you're in the same coordinates on a map? And that's how IP addresses are handled, by coordinates on a bitmap image? That happens to be the Earth, I guess? I mean, I guess that would work. Just so, I mean, the IP address is just shorter. Theoretically, it would still work, assuming it has the drivers for the hardware, right? Fuck, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that doesn't leave us too much. We can look at bandwidth, but we don't have any. I think it's kind of funny that I recorded this at 60 FPS, but considering how slow this is going... Right-click loop. Sent, received, and other, and I don't see anything because it's not connected to anything. So maybe it'd be an interesting video if I could get 2 Dawn machines hooked up together, and then bada bing bada boom, and we're done. But I'm not doing that because it probably won't work. So we did pretty much everything. It's still changing the background and shitting on my computer, but whatever, probably because I told it to do that. So let's try resolution. Resolution. There we go. Okay, we've got press escape or home button to reverse settings. Resolution automatic and aspect ratio automatic. So let's go manual resolution. This is a feature I've always wanted in an operating system, to be able to set the resolution manually. I'll just wait, I guess. Shit, it froze. Oh, hello. Okay, well, it's not as manual as I thought it was going to be, but okay. The resolution is currently at 1024 by 768. I don't know why these are sideways, but still can't move the mouse. Okay, well now it's as manual as I thought it was going to be. Where's my mouse? There it is. So in theory, I could type in random values in here. Oh god, I think it's changing the desktop background again. Yeah, it's going a lot slower right now. It could be because I have a lot of shit in the background. And it's camera shy. I turn the camera off and it starts working again. Well, let's try it again. Okay, let's try changing it to 800 by 600, not something higher. Because I don't... Oh, fuck. Every time I mouse over this area, it just fucking locks up. Okay, on this window, for whatever reason, the mouse cursor moves 20 times slower. Like, way slower. Like, I have to press a button to move it 5 pixels and come back later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the part where it says 800 by 600. And I don't know why it made it look like the window was made active. Just click it again. And I guess we'll come back when that moves the little green thing over. It didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take. Got to 800 by 600. So the challenge now... Oh god, it's still changing the background. I should not have done that. I got to get down to the apply button, which will take a little bit longer because I need to get a little bit... Well, shit! Okay, well... See if that doesn't go off the screen now. Okay, I got it outside of the window, and that's going to be kind of my saving thing. So as you can see, I can move it just fine. Well, relatively fine. I mean, I have an adjusted perception of fine. I'll line it up with the apply button, and once I get over there... Oh, now I can mouse over it? Okay. Well, that's going to take some time. This is a lot of the bad. This might be where we'll need to conclude the video. There's not really a whole lot you can do with Dawn right now. It's very basic, but it's a very inspiring tale of somebody who has, from the ground up, made his own operating system from, well, the lowest level I'm aware of, the processor architecture level. Good fucking god, this is quite a project. He might not be on the so-called genius levels of Terry from Temple OS, but Gary is definitely up and coming. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time.
No.